Well, I'm Sue Castile. I'm an environmental health scientist with ATSDR. ATSDR stands for the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. Well, people should be concerned about elemental mercury because most people just don't realize how dangerous it can be and what serious health effects it can have. Elemental mercury is toxic primarily through inhalation exposure. It is very important to recognize that you can't see it, you can't smell it, and there's no way to know that it's there except that we know that it volatilizes into air.
And you'll see it in literature all the time. It will volatilize at room temperature and higher. That's a very bad misconception people have. It will volatilize at anything above -38 degrees. The higher the temperature, the more readily it will volatilize, the quicker it will volatilize.
When a woman is pregnant, we hope that she's never exposed to mercury vapor because we know that it can pass the placenta and cause neurological problems in the unborn baby.
This is an amalgamator. This is the instrument that's going to mix the mercury with the other ingredients to form the amalgam filling. Keep in mind that we're taught in dental school that once they combine, the mercury becomes relatively inert at that point. So let's try this.
And if we see residences or buildings that have 10 micrograms per cubic meter or more of mercury, then we consider that it poses a health risk, and we recommend that people don't stay in the building or the residence.
Ten micrograms is generally considered inhabitable. They shouldn't be living there without some kind of respiratory protection, and the cleanup goal to make sure everything's completely removed to the point where it can never pose a threat to anyone, even small children with health problems, is 0.3 micrograms.
As you know, a lot of us have dental amalgams that contain mercury, and the amalgams can be as much as 50% mercury. And research indicates that anywhere from 4 to 19 micrograms of mercury per day can leach out of your amalgams into your body. If you're exposed to mercury chronically for a long period of time, then we start seeing much more serious health effects. These health effects would be damage to the central nervous system, fatigue, irritability, being very emotional, memory loss, shyness, blushing, tingling or tremors in your hands, tingling and shooting pains in your feet, anorexia. You may have gingivitis, you may have some serious respiratory problems. There are just a lot of really serious health problems associated with chronic exposure.
Typically in most dental schools, it's been taught that the mercury is trapped within the matrix of the amalgam. And so therefore we're trying to visualize here and prove the fact that there's a significant amount that comes off during the mixing, during the packing, and then we have some teeth with the amalgam that's been set for a while, and we're going to be removing that with a high-speed dental drill in order to visualize how much vapor comes off during that procedure as well.
And what this research that we're doing here visually shows is that when you drill on an amalgam filling, that it dramatically exposes the patient and the dentist and the dental technician to huge amounts of mercury vapor that enters the body. It's even worse than what they imagined.
2,483 micrograms per cubic meter, and I've never seen levels of mercury this high. That's pretty much unheard of in any type of work environment.
Because it definitely shows, with just absolute fact, hard science, that amalgams, when they are heated with the drill, by drilling on them, release copious amounts of mercury vapor into the air.
Clearly, if you're not measuring it, you're not monitoring it, and you're not educating these employees, then the OSHA regulations are not being upheld.
As dentists drill O to filling, their dental drill runs at about 400,000 RPM, and it sends a shower of micron size and submicron size particles everywhere. It's tens of thousands of parts per million. There was literature actually that measured the amount of particulate matter in the airspace or the breathing zone of a dentist during removals, and a researcher had studied this using mannequins into which they had put in fake teeth with fillings in them and then drilled them out and taken all the measurements while they were doing it. And the dose of particulate matter experienced by dentists, if they don't take precautions, is huge.